pretty mean. We didn't give a damn one way or the other. We're too sympathetic toward those dudes.
No, after what been going on there?
Yeah. So one day, the captain said, if you guys want to see a concentration camp, he told us where it was there. Little town Ordruff was the name of the town. And it had been, General Eisenhower had been there the day before. He says, you guys want to see it, go ahead. So we got in our truck and went down. Jesus.
There's still people there when you got there?
Oh boy.
Man.
60 years later.
I can't fathom what that must have been like.
Oh God.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. There's a little bottle of pills there. Those are that Xanax. How about tossing that? I could get it. What the hell? You can get it faster.
Absolutely. Right here.
Yeah. But I can't take it too much more. Thank you.
You're welcome, Uncle Jim.
That was next to the worst day. If I can regain my composure, I'll tell you. Maybe I can.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to tell me anything you don't want to. If you don't feel up to it.
Well, I can't keep my head. First time in a long time I talked about it. I should have taken that pill before. I knew this probably happened. I have to wait a few minutes.
That's okay. That's okay. You can talk about something else if you'd rather, or we can just wait.
There's a city of Weimar in Germany, right outside. That used to be that was the capital of the republic after the First World War. But anyway, right outside of Weimar is this little town Ordruff, where the concentration camp was. It's a small one, as concentration camps go, or was and all that. We got there and it had been fairly well cleaned up, but there was still bodies around, full of holes, machine gun holes, laying on the ground. There was what they call a big thing with a 4x4 sticking out with a hangman's noose on it. There was nobody there. The troops had been there the day before we got there, I tell you. Then the worst part was what we called a funeral pyre. It was, as I remember now, maybe 20 feet long and 7-8 feet wide, and they used narrow gauge small railroads over there. These rails weren't like ours, they were small.
Right.
And they were stretched across this, what the hell do you call it, an enclosure. It wasn't an enclosure, it was dug out deep. And on across those rails, they laid bodies. That was about as unpleasant a thing as you ever did see. They built fires under them and were going to burn them, but the fluids from the body put the fire out.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, what a god-awful mess. You never see anything like it. Hope you don't have to.
I hope not too.
I got you a $100 bill and the rest 20s.
Why'd you get 100?
Why?
$100 bill.
Well,
The way we're getting around anymore, well, anyway. Did you get some for yourself?
No.
Oh, you got any money?
Yes. Yeah, I think I made out like a bandit.
How's that?
Well, you gave me some.
do with it, I can't get out to spend it. I gotta put that in the book before I forget, then I'll be rich. I think I'm rich and won't be. Fire was put out, when they burned the bodies, they opened up, exploded, put the fire out.
Jeez,
You never saw anything like it.
that's awful.
Still shakes me up.
I can imagine.
Well, that was next to the worst thing I saw. The other one I'll tell you about as soon as I get good composure.
All right.
But that was just when the war ended in Germany. Oh, I found one.
I'd like you to tell me sometime about when how you got your job at the salt company, too.
Oh, well, that was simple enough. Yeah, I was working for a contractor, Nick Paradiso. He laid me off. And this was 1950. Yeah, we just had him. He was a baby. And I picked up my tools. I didn't have very many of them. I had a few. And started out, and the general manager stopped me there on the steps. And he says, "You're out of a job." Yeah. He says, "What are you going to do now?" I said, "Well, I'm going to look for another one." He says, "I was looking for a job when I come here." He says, "You go see Reese." Reese was the plant manager. This guy was Reese's boss. He said, "You go see him, he'll give you a job." Well, his word was the law. I went and saw Reese and he said, "How you come to work?" Well, Monday was Labor Day. He says, "Come to work Tuesday morning." I was going to stay for a while and look for another job. I didn't like the idea of staying down there after my father spent 37 years there. But that was easier said than done, so I stayed there, obviously.
What'd you do there to start with?
Sheet metal shop. Boy, it was a good job too. I liked that job. I was good at it too. Yeah. Did that for 9 years, for 9 years to the month. It was September 1950. September 1959, the assistant chief engineer come to me and asked me if I'd take a job as a draftsman. I says, yeah, I think so. He said, "Well, you have to take a pay cut." I got overtime and all the year before that, $5,500 gross pay. He said, "We'll pay you $100 a week flat to start." And I couldn't wait to get out of that damn union, so he said, "I'll take it." So I went to work as a draftsman, and I forget how long, it wasn't very long, when they shut the plant down over in Lansing, or not Lansing, but wherever it was there, Myers, over north of Ithaca along Cayuga Lake. They moved that plant over here, and I was in on that, doing the drawings and checking out every damn piece of equipment you could think of, every piece of pipe and pump and switch and anything you could think of.
Huh.
We did that whole summer, and then they moved those are 15-foot diameter pans, they're 20, 25 feet high. Moved them over here from Ithaca. They had to go all the way up around someplace to avoid the bridges.
Did they take them by rail or by truck?
The trucks, yeah, and installed them here. That took from August of '61, I think it was, until sometime in 1962. We started up. They had 4 pans. We had 8. Ended up with 8.
And what are the pans exactly? What do they do?
They're evaporator pans. That's how you make salt. You put brine in there, and the pans are heated up and evaporate the water.
Okay.
I got to take a minute with him.
Sure.
Frank called. Frank, his father, through Germany. And we stopped for a break, and there was a Y in the road. Well, it went the other way. And in that Y, there was a body of a German soldier. The sun had hit it and kind of blew up, Some of the guys, I swear I didn't do it. Some of the guys were shooting at it we had carbines, so to let the gas out.
Jeez.
guy was dead and didn't make any difference to him, but Jesus, a terrible thing to do. We were maybe from, here, next door from it, parked, just taking a break.
What year was that? 44? 45?
In 45, before the war ended. Then one day, the worst I ever saw. I always have a hard time with it. I'm still having a hard time. Can't tell you.
Okay, that's okay, Uncle Jim. Don't worry about it.
Could write it down sometime.
Yeah, I could do that, I suppose. But other than that, my war experiences were easy, pleasant. I tell you, I got every break in the book.
You got a lot of lucky. Everything went your way,
Yeah,
and got to see a lot of things.
yeah, all expense paid tours.
Did you ever go back to Europe or want to go back or anything like
Never
that?
wanted to go back. No. Wife wanted to go and I wouldn't go. Like my father, he says, I didn't lose anything there, so I don't have to go back to find it. But, yeah, we had pleasant experiences. I just didn't want to do it again. I don't mind traveling when I got control. I drive my own car or rent a car or get in an airplane, know where I'm going, and tell them pick me up here and drop me off there. But I don't know. Just never wanted to go back.
Yeah, blame me. I was just curious.
Yeah. She wanted to go. Well, she'd never been to Europe. Nick went over when Mary Rose and Jeff were stationed in Ramstein. I think, yeah, big Air Force base there. He went over to see her. He got a nice surprise. He said they went out shopping. Here's Mary Rose ordering groceries in German. Yeah, but we never went.
Did Aunt Melly go?
Huh?
Did Aunt Melly go with him?
Oh yeah, they went over to see Mary Rose and Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought back a beer mug. It's in there somewhere. Just a token gift. Huh?
You want pork or beef for dinner?
Pork or beef? You know what I want.
Got a couple of pork chops and a couple of steaks.
Yeah, Jeff there, he was a pretty good boy. Geez, I see some of the work he did up in his house there in Elmira Heights. Good mechanic. What little I saw.
He was a handy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he just decided he didn't want to be married anymore. Well, you know, you don't see only one half. You see your family's half.
Yeah.
I heard a couple of stories that, you know, she's my niece and all that, but still, there's two sides.
Oh yeah, there's always two sides.
Yeah.
Yep.
The same, your mother and father. Two sides. This I'll tell you, nobody on his side blamed her. Everybody blamed him. I didn't know enough about it. Stayed out of it. Never said anything, none of my business. But I've heard him talk about it. Even Melly, she still remained friends with April.
Oh yeah, our whole family does. They always ask about her, and
Yeah. Then Billy Paradise, when he broke up with Letty, she was a real nice girl too. Everybody blamed him except one person, his mother. Couldn't be my son's fault, you know. Everybody's out of step but my son Bill. Boy, he was one sick son of a gun. She married another guy, a friend of theirs.